The story of Grizzly Adams is big and powerful and beautiful. They call me Mad Jack. And me and my burro number 7 been traipsing these slopes and valleys for a long spell, so I know the story from the beginning. My friend Adams was accused of a crime he didn't commit, so he escaped into the mountains, leaving behind the only life that he ever knew. Now that wilderness out there ain't no place for a greenhorn, and his chances of surviving were mighty slim. Weren't no time at all, for he was beaten down, ragged, and nearly starved. Long about then, he come upon a grizzly bear cub, all alone and helpless. Now, Adams knew that little critter couldn't survive without his help, so he started right down that cliff, risking his own life to save it. Now, that cub took to Adams right off. And that was when he discovered he had a special kind of way with animals. They just come right up to him like he was a natural part of the wilderness. But that bear cub, he was extra special. As he growed, he became the best friend Adams ever had, and together they became a legend.
There's a world where we don't have to run, maybe. There's a time we'll call our own, living free in harmony and majesty. Take me home, take me home, take me home, take me home.
Now, I lived in these mountains most of my life, but each time spring gentles itself upon the land, it's like seeing it for the first time. The wild flowers fill the valley with a color and glow no artist, well, leastwise no artist on earth, can begin to paint. And when the bees start a-buzzing, you can look for all them newborn animals to say hello to nature and to each other. And maybe learn a lesson or two. Now, you take this baby wolf seeing a field mouse for the first time. Not knowing what to make of it, he figured he'd have himself a look-see. And he learnt lesson number 1. That is that a field mouse can fit into places a wolf pup can't. And this gives a little feller a chance to fight back. But persistence is what turns curiosity into experience and produces lesson number 2. If you want to get somewhere bad enough and you're willing to work a little bit, you can always find a way of getting the job done. Of course, things don't always turn out like you planned. It started real easy like, if you can call planting vegetables easy. But then Adams, he still had greenhorn habits.
See how nice this garden's come up this year? If we can keep Mary Lou and Daniel and Joshua from being piggish about it, I think we're gonna have us some real fine eating this summer. Ben, I asked you to take a look at it, didn't ask you to stomp around in it. Now, I know you don't cotton too much to spinach, but there's some folks around here that do.
Now, number 7, you've been giving me nothing but trouble all day long. Now, I'm a patient man, so I'm only going to ask you 3 or 4 more times to move it. Now, come along. Come on, 7. Hey, nabbit. Now, look what you've done. That's the 3rd time today you've knocked this off. Now, you keep this up, and I may send you to that glue factory up St. Joe way. You may not realize it, but I'm the onlyest thing standing twixt you and a back end of a postage stamp. Well, if that's the way you're going to be, you just wait here. I sure don't know what got into you today.
Jack, maybe number 7's got a reason for doing what he's doing.
Sure, he's got 2 reasons. One is contrary, and the other is he's lazy.
Number 7 ain't lazy.
Well, I wouldn't say lazy. It's just his nature not to work unless it's needful.
Jack, get out of there. You're stepping on my spinach.
Oh, I'm sorry, Adams. It's just that I'm so riled up.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Ben was stomping around on it just a few minutes ago, and now you've got the rest of it. Well, at least we got some lettuce and onions and such.
Well, I'll be real careful.
Well, number 7, let's see what we can do for you. Now, you know that I wouldn't do nothing to you that you wouldn't like. And I know that this ain't your normal way of acting. So I'm just going to take a look and see what's there on me. You feel anything, 7? Does that hurt? Ooh. I wouldn't want one of these either, 7. This burr here's a nasty one. Seems that saddlebag's rubbing into your skin something fierce. I bet you it feels good to get that old burr out of there, doesn't it, 7? Yeah. See what I found? This old burr was stuck underneath the saddle blanket.
It's under his blanket? Well, he usually tells me something like that. Thanks, Adam.
Oh, that's all right. Just thanks enough you bringing the supplies. You brought everything, didn't you?
Oh, sure. Sure. Brought everything.
You didn't forget my pumpkin seeds, did you?
Pumpkin seeds?
I knew you'd forget them. I knew it.
Yep. Guess I forgot them. Pumpkin seeds? What in tarnation would a mountain man be doing with pumpkin seeds anyway?
Well, I told Ben about Thanksgiving last spring. And I told him come this fall, I was going to show him a good old-fashioned party, and that's just what I'm going to do.
Well, I guess Ben's got as much right to have a party as anybody.
Adams, Jack.
Nakoma!
Are these old eyes deceiving me, or is he wearing war paint?
Shodaji.
Shodaji, Nakoma.
Shodaji.
Bashbalahi Gasha. Tashua ko sek. La biwalisagu.
Well, I know you got good reason for carrying your warboat to my home, Nakoma, and you don't have to apologize to me.
Ishbim. Sekota ish bashua isham baha shek.
You mean that old she-cougar Sekota come down out of her own territory and raided your village?
Was anybody hurt?
Baida. Bale shua. Kota disewok.
That's good. A few torn lodges, they can be fixed.
Now, Adams and me, we knew right off what was at stake here. And we reminded Nakoma that in all of her life, Sekota had never heard a living thing, that she was a friend of all of us, including Ben. But when Nakoma told us the tribal council decided she had to be hunted down and had given Nakoma the job of doing it, I figured it was best to leave him alone, because I knew Adams had things to say to his blood brother.
Well, I got no stomach for that. I'm gonna pack number 7.
Adams told Nakoma that if Sekota was acting peculiar to her nature, there had to be a reason. And if he went along, maybe he could find that reason. Nakoma said no, mostly because he knew how hard it would be for his blood brother to watch him do what he had to do. And even if Adams did find the reason, the tribal council had spoken. And when Adams promised Nakoma he wouldn't do anything to interfere with tribal law, Nakoma agreed to let him go. But he left no doubt as to the purpose of his mission.
Oh, I best get some things together.
Well, we got to tracking him right after a look-see at the damage to the lodges. No people was hurt. And I can say neither Adams or Nakoma had any heart for going after their cougar friend. Nary a word was spoken. I was sure wanting to stay with them, but there was some folks mighty needful of the supplies I was taking to the settlement, so I had to go. Well, this is as far as I go with you.
Well, we wouldn't have no supplies unless you did. Will we, Ben?
I feel like I'm letting you down.
There's nothing else you can do here, Jack.
Adams, I ain't one to be giving advice. But what's happening here is Indian law. Now, that goes back before you and me and maybe even before these mountains here. That means it ain't any of our business. Ain't that right, Ben? And one more thing. There's a great bond between you and Nakoma. Don't you do nothing come twixt that.
I know that, Jack. I'm going to do the best I can. I give you my word. I promise.
Yeah. Nakoma, I know this is going to be hardest on you because you're the one that's got to do it.
Jack, we all know the penalty for endangering lives, and that's why I'm going. I'm going to prove that Sekota's innocent.
Yeah. As I left, there was a knot as big as a pine cone inside me. I was aching for both of them, knowing there was big trouble ahead. Because I knew the law same as Adams and Nakoma. There was no way out for Sekota. Wherever she was out there in the forest, she had to die. They didn't show it, but both men was a-hurting something fierce. Each was hoping that Sekota had made her way out of the territory, but that weren't the case. She was staying within reach.
Mistake.
Why south? That's not her territory, Nakoma. She knows we got a good chance of catching her down there.
Balagota. Tahadehi.
You're right, Nakoma. It is a strange way for her to be acting. I know what you're thinking, and I can't hold with it. I know she's not off on another raid. I know it. Hi, little fox. You haven't seen Sekota, have you? What are you afraid of, huh? What are you afraid of, little guy? Are you afraid of that cougar? Oh, you're afraid of Nakoma's war bow. No, that's not for you. Better scoot home and see your ma. You be careful, little guy. I'll see you soon.
That war bow was for Sekota, and it was almost as if she knew it.
It's all right, Ben. Those wolves aren't interested in us.
Baishi Sha Duck.
Maybe Sekota thought she could lose our trail by going up to these rocks.
By Jake.
Yeah, Sekota's one smart mountain lion. Those wolves sound uneasy to you? Look it up there, Nakoma. Male, females, and no pups. It's mighty strange right in the middle of birthing season. Why don't you go off over there where those rocks stop and see if you can pick her trail up? Well, Ben, if Mother Nature doesn't give that wolf pack any cubs this spring, whoever comes across their trail's in for a lot of trouble.
Well, number 7, it's just you and me. Nothing betwixt us and 2 weeks' walk in any direction. That's the way I like it. We've had a lot of good times together, you and me. And number 7, you're not paying any attention to what I'm saying. Never seen you so tremulate.
Are you scared? Ain't nothing out there to be scared of. Tell you what, why don't we make ourselves a little camp here, and I'll just whip us up a batch of flapjacks. How'd you like that, huh? What's the matter with you? Well, there ain't nothing in that brush. Now, I was going to whip us up some flapjacks, but if you think we ought to, we'll just move on a little ways. Come on.
Remember Nakoma when Sekota found those snares that trapper was setting a few years back? She started stalking him and springing him as fast as he could set them.
Jiwa, Jake.
I knew you wouldn't forget that. She sure saved a parcel of lives that year, didn't she?
Would reminding Nakoma of Sekota's good axe put an end to his hunt? Adam sure hoped it would. There ain't nothing around here to scare burros. I think old Mad Jack's just gonna cool off these old tired feet of his. There you go. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll just wash out a pair of socks at the same time. There you go. All righty. Now. Woo-wee. Number 7, that's fitting cold. Well, what's the matter with you? Oh, I ain't taking no for real bath. I done that less than a year ago. Oh, that feels good. Well, sure, even mountain men get sore feet. Ooh, that is cold. Really is. You know, number 7, I don't see how folks stand to do that once a month. Can you believe that? Some people do. Well, what's the matter with you, you little black-eyed bandit? Ain't you ever seen anybody wash his socks before? Huh? You know something, number 7? That might not be a bad idea for you. Just get in there and wash them feet of yours.
wall-eyed, lop-beard people pusher, what'd you go and do that for? I told you. Less than a year ago, I had me a whole for real bath. What are you laughing at? Now, instead of building a fire to make us some flapjacks, I'm going to have to build a fire to dry off my clothes. Yeah, just look. Look what you done. Just soaking wet. Gotta get me a fire started. It's freezing cold. Think my powder's dry, number 7. Come back here with them clothes. Look here. You didn't leave me with nothing but trade goods. I wonder what number 8 would be like.
If I'd have knowed what number 7 knowed, I'd be sashaying off just like he did. Now, at the same time, Adams, Nakoma, and Ben weren't having any luck picking up Sekota's trail again.
I didn't find anything on that side. How about you?
Bida.
Well, this just doesn't make sense, Nakoma. Sekota's got to be around here somewhere. What is it, Ben?
Ich spiele leider hier.
Did you hear that, Ben? Nakoma says that Sekota was right here. That means she's been following us all this time. It's almost as if she wants us to find her. She's sure been acting strange. Keep remembering when all the folks thought I was dangerous. They couldn't understand why I had to keep running. Well, now that we got a trail to follow, maybe we can get some answers.
What them answers were, neither man knew. Hiding the pain that plunged into them like a knife, they quickened their pace. The sooner they found the answer, the better for them and for Sekota, who continued to stay nearby, but just out of sight. Seemed like she was almost hoping them two would catch up to her.
Water is bad luck. I've known that. Got some more on me. I've known that since I was a young'un. It's just pure deep bad luck.
Place, I'll get me some sticks. There you are.
That you, number 7? You come back to apologize to old Mad Jack for running off and leaving him cold and... Now, easy, fellas. We don't want to do anything we're going to be sorry for later, do we?
Sekota were not only nearby, she were practically inviting Nakoma and Adams to come and get her.
What'd you find, Nakoma? What kind of an animal would chew wood up like this? Whatever's been chewing on this, Nakoma, it's a lot bigger than these critters. You don't think Sekota could have done this, do you?
Ila Gusta.
Both men were sharing the same silent thought. Sekota wanted to get herself caught, and she was close by. Mighty close by.
Well, now, wait a minute, fellas. Maybe we could be friends. Maybe we could do some trading, huh? Like, look there. That'd make a nice collar. You don't like that? Well, I got look here. How about a genuine iron fork? Just like them city slickers use. You know, like it. I don't blame you. I eat with my fingers myself. Well, I know what you like. I got a genuine crow whistle. Listen to it. Keep it up, fellas. I knew you'd like it.
Them wolves liked hearing that whistle, but only as long as that whistle and me stayed right where we was.
Oh, I'm staying. Yeah, I'm staying.
Meanwhile, number 7 was beginning to enjoy a little peace and quiet. By now, both men knew that Sekota's strange behavior weren't no accident. That she was going to let herself get caught, but she was going to choose the time and the place. And only she knew the reason. And the way things was going, it was getting harder by the minute for Adams to keep his promise to Nakoma. The one about not interfering. He told Nakoma that he was still hoping that when they caught up with Sekota, that he'd have a chance to find the answer to the question that had been eluding them. The reason Sekota had raided the village in the first place. Maybe if that reason was good enough, something could still be done about changing the fate of the Cougar. Adams was as concerned for his blood brother as he was for Sekota. And he said so. If she had to die by Nakoma's hand, why, Nakoma likely wouldn't be the same man ever again. I don't think it was possible for either man to carry a heavier heart. Each of them knew it wouldn't be too much longer before they would meet Sekota somewhere in the forest.
Wait a son.
Oh, this is really puzzling me, Nakoma. What kind of a game is she playing? Running away and then not running away. Do you think that she could be afraid of Ben? Ben and Sekota were real good friends, but that was a long time ago. Maybe she's forgotten. Ben, I want you to go back to the cabin. Now, go on back to the cabin. I think if you go back, Nakoma and I can get Sekota to show herself.
Sekota was a-going somewhere in a big hurry.
Well, so this is where you live, huh? Oh, this is nice. But it's cold. It's freezing cold in there in these deep woods. How's about letting me go find old number 7 and getting some warm clothes for old Mad Jack, huh? No, huh?
I noticed them wolves dropping food around me, but at first I didn't pay no attention to it.
I just feel so rotten that I just don't give an Easterner's hoot. What do you think of that? Just come ahead on and eat me, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going down without a fight.
How come you keep offering me that food? Go on and give it to one of your pups or something.
Just a minute here. You're supposed to have pups along about this time of year. And you ain't got none, have you? And yet you're offering me food like you would to a pup if you was to have a pup. Ain't that right? So that's it. You're adopting me. You want me to be your pup. Just a minute. Mother Nature plays some strange tricks now and again, but I ain't done nothing against nature.
Just watch it.
You don't want me to go that way. Well, maybe I should kind of think it over a little, huh? Yeah. See? Them's not bad, Mama. As a matter of fact, they're good. Thank you.
Things had finally made sense to me, and things was beginning to make sense to Adams and Nakoma.
It's getting easier, Nakoma. It's like she's not even trying to hide her trail anymore. It was a good idea we had sending Ben back to the cabin.
Yeah, about Leashby.
No. I think I know where she's headed. Do you know where Sekota's den is?
Hilo.
And then you know how peaceable she is up there. I've been kind of hoping for a miracle all this time. I think maybe you have too. I know they're kind of hard to come by. Well, at least we're getting closer.
Hit. Ahaza. Iwa Visa.
Yeah, you're right. We are gonna have to hurry before that sun goes down.
Looking down on him, Sekota seemed to know it was all coming to an end. She had led Nakoma and Adams to her home. So whatever happened, it would happen here, where she felt safest. Ben was heading back for home, none too happy, because he was a-feeling just as bad about Sekota as Adams and Nakoma, when that powerful nose of his picked up a scent he knowed real good. Mine. And when Ben followed that scent and found my pants, he knowed something was wrong. So Ben began to follow the trail until he found number 7. Now, in the way animals have of communicating with one another, Ben gave that burro a good talking to. And number 7, mighty ashamed of what he'd done, told Ben he'd take him to where he had left old Mad Jack. For me, I had just about given up hope of ever getting out of my predicament when I heard and seen a couple of familiar faces. Hey, Ben! Hey, Ben! Easy, Ben. These wolves don't mean me no harm, just a mess inconvenience, so. Hey, that's the bravest thing I ever saw Mama do. You're gonna protect me against that great big grizzly? Well, that's very nice of you, but that grizzly happens to be a particular friend of mine. Yeah, so you go on to your family. Go on. I'll be all right. I promise you I'll grow up to be a good pup. Make you proud of me. Bye, Mama. Ben. Ben, you're a sight for a sore body. Meanwhile, Adams and Nakoma was getting mighty close, and it was tearing them both up inside. Nakoma fretted himself over the task he'd been given, and Adams worried about his blood brother and Sekota. What was waiting for him?
Wait, Nakoma. Let me try and bring her out. If I get her out, take us before the tribal council for a new trial.
Kola lilok.
I'm not disputing the Crow law, am I? But I know how much the Crow respect life. What's wrong with you? I never seen you act like this. You're afraid I'm gonna get hurt, aren't you? Still looking out for me. All right. If she tries and fights me, you can use your arrows on her. I give you my word. But at least let me try and get her out.
It had finally come. The moment Adams and Nakoma both dreaded.
Hi, Sekota. Hi. It's me, Adams. It's all right. It's all right. I'm not gonna hurt you. Easy. Just let me touch you. Easy, Sekota. Just let me touch you.
Adams.
No, Nakoma. No. She didn't mean it. She was just trying to tell me something. I should have listened to her.
Kung Shelova.
I know I gave you my word.
Adams was stuck, and he noted. There was no way he could prove the Cougar didn't mean to hit him. And he had given his word to Nakoma, so he had to stand aside. Then Adams saw something, and it all became clear.
Nakoma! Look at this wood. This piece of wood. It's chewed up just like that piece you found in the valley. I think I know what's wrong with her. Will you give me one more try?
Ida.
I'm not going back on my word, but I just want you to look at this.
No.
I understand why you say no, but just look at it, please.
Nakoma held more than a piece of wood in his hands. He held the fate of two men and a cougar.
All right, Nakoma?
Kala ihok.
Thanks. Hello, Sekota. Hello, girl. Easy, Sekota. Nobody's gonna hurt you. I think I know what's wrong with you, Sekota. Leastwise, I hope I do. I'll go real easy. I promise I won't hurt you. That's a good girl. I'm just gonna touch this side of your face. All right? That's a girl. That's it. I'm not gonna hurt you. Easy, girl. Easy. Now the other side. Oh, that hurt, didn't it? Don't go, Sekota. I'm just trying to help you. I'm sorry, but I had to find out. That's a good girl. Can I get you to open your mouth? Huh? Come on, Sekota. Just let me take a look. Here, look at me. There you go. All right. Will you let me look in your mouth? Huh? Open just a little more. This is gonna hurt. Are you ready? Easy, easy. I got it. That's a good girl. Yeah. Look at that. You're gonna feel a lot better now. You're a brave girl, Sekota. You're a good girl. I think Sekota's gonna be just fine now, Nakoma. All right, Sekota. Nakoma, this was the cause of all the trouble. This caused Sekota much pain, which is why she was teething on that wood like a baby. She knew she couldn't get it out.
Bilo stop.
Well, that's why she came to your village to ask for help. Do you think this will satisfy your people?
Yek daja.
Sekota, you feel better, and so does Nakoma. Did you hear what Nakoma said? I bet your mouth feels better if that thorn's out now. Nakoma said that everything's gonna be all right. And I bet you that pain's all gone now. And so is ours.
Things was back to normal at the Indian village and with Sekota. But Adam was still having problems with his garden.
Well, Ben, when I get this garden straightened out this time, I don't want you and Jack stomping around in it again. Hi, Jack.
Howdy, Adams. Hello there, Ben. Nice day, ain't it?
Real nice. How was your trading trip?
Oh, good, good, good. Got everything you needed.
Did you get the pumpkin seeds?
Oh.
That's twice you forgot them.
See? There they are, pumpkin seeds.
Oh, I got some great news for you. Nakoma and Ben and I, well, we went up to the Indian Council and talked to the chief about Sekota.
Yeah?
When he heard what we told him, they made her an honorary member of the tribe.
Yeah? That's good. Now, I know that you told me that you and Nakoma had a tough time with that Sekota, but wait till you hear this. This is the best part. There I was, surrounded by a pack of the most ferocious, meanest-looking wolves you ever gonna see in your born days. Yes, sir, their tails was a-high and their hackles was a-standing up like porcupine quills. Say, speaking of porcupine quills, how did you ever figure that thorn in Sekota's mouth?
Well, I didn't, not at first. But I knew there was something bothering Sekota, something fierce.
I wouldn't have thought of that in a million years.
Well, things ain't always what they seem at first look. I figure if you got faith in your friends and you dig deep enough, sooner or later you'll find out the truth, don't you think?
You're right. It's just like me and them wolves. I just had faith in them, and I dug down real deep.
I'll tell you what you did with some quick thinking.
Do you know what I did? I just went up to them, looked them in them yeller eyes, then give 'em my squinty-eyed stare, just like that. And that, they knew the truth. That's what they did. And right then and there, they made me king of the pack, and all them tails went down and all them hackles went down. Ain't that right, Ben? 7?
Jack.
I might have knowed you'd learn the truth from them. You see, the thing is, Adams, I didn't want to tell you that other story, 'cause, well, it'd have been too embarrassing if it had got around rendezvous.
What's the other story?
Well, the truth is, well, you see, them wolves didn't have no pups this spring. And they come up on me out there, and they figured I was an orphan, and they adopted me.
You know, that's the greatest story I've ever heard.
It is.
Yeah. Well, I bet you're the only man in these parts that's got a wolf pack for a family.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you know what? I never did think of it that way. Why, you know what? I'm probably the onlyest two-legged critter in all these mountains that's got a wolf for next to kin.
Adams.
Deep inside the forest is a door into another land. Here is our life and home. We are staying